Is that a sideways range? Yeah, it is, right? There's a sideways range. 95.84, right? 95.84. We also noticed that was also the previous high of day. Not the current high. Well, it was the current high too, but it was also the previous high. Think about that for a second. If I have my previous high of day up top and I'm just about to break above the previous high, what does that mean again, guys? It means buyers in charge, but more importantly, previous high of day means outside day. Now that means I'm buying pullbacks. What does an inside day mean? An inside day would mean sell these highs, right? And look to take the fake out breakout. So we saw right away here the previous lows were down bottom, previous highs up top, and when we broke above the previous highs, outside day. But remember when we first did that though at 8:30, we didn't have any speed. So we saw a sideways range, an outside day. We knew we had this wedge above us, right? There's your price wedge above you. And we also knew that the BMT would probably not be a good place to be trading around today. That's a lot of clues, right? Those are a lot of things to look at. Well, first of all, we have to assume, first of all, that we have this wedge above us. And price will try its darndest to get up into that wedge. We also knew we had 98 even right there, which is a very sloppy area, and we knew it would become a price magnet. We also knew that if price was to fall, I would have to avoid that 95.31. We also knew outside day would mean higher highs, buyers in control, right above the previous high of day. And then there was one more clue we found. And we didn't know this until we went a little bit faster. I went to my 13 range chart, and on my 13 range chart, which is great for day traders, we'll be there in a second. On my 13 range chart, what did we see here? Mark up this low here, mark up this low here, and what did we find here? We found a price channel. And of course, a price channel here, what does that tell me now? Well, outside day means buy pullbacks, right? The range above us means expect price try to go up. Then of course, we've got this bull channel. This couldn't be any easier. The bull channel tells me with new higher highs, I'm buying pullbacks. This bull channel tells me very specifically, if I come down to the lows, I'm not going to sell those lows. I'm going to buy those lows. And that ended up being our first trade of the day today. We made new higher highs. We came down to the lows of the channel. Meanwhile, let's go forward now to my 21 range chart because that's where I found our first pattern today. Guys, by 11:30 this morning, we had sold the highs, coming back down here again. But this is where we began our day today, 9:45 this morning. Like I said, we got the breakout earlier this morning. We got a new higher high above the previous high of day right there. That made this an outside day. Now, if you recall, what was that sideways range here? It was at 84. Remember that? There's 84. There's your 95.84. And like I said, we get above the previous highs. We get above the sideways range. We're inside of this bull price channel. And don't forget, we've got a big price magnet of 98 overhead. And I was speculating this morning when I said, if we make new higher highs, if we can get above 97, we're probably headed to 98 because 98 will be that price magnet. And again, that's from experience 2 weeks ago when we saw 98 really dragging price down and dragging price up. All right, so 98 we knew would be a good target all the way up top here. So we had lots of reasons to think here the price should keep rising. And of course, that's where we got our first trade of the day today. Now, if you recall, we skipped the first two moves because there was no speed. This is where I want to remind you guys that being selective, right, is a great habit to get into. Now, we skipped a number of moves earlier. And remember what I said? I'm going to wait for those perfect patterns with the perfect speed, all the rules lining up, and then I'm going to pull the trigger. And I have a feeling it'll be worth the wait. That's exactly what happened here. And you can see here, we break new higher highs, no speed yet. Now, you could buy that pullback right there. Or new higher high again, you could buy that pullback again. So there were two wave patterns right there. You could have grabbed those two wave patterns, but again, you had me telling you, let's be careful out there. Let's wait till we get through, of course, 9:30, the U.S. markets open up. After 9:30, we get a lot more speed here, and we jump up. Now, when I jump up after 9:30, I'm obviously now looking to sell here, right? That'd be the natural reaction to we're going sloppy here this morning. We jump up. I'm thinking fake out breakout is what I'll look for first. If we don't see the fake out breakout, then I know, all right, you got me. Let's keep going now.